The John Wick franchise just dropped its first major spin-off, Ballerina. Ana de Armas is front and center, Keanu does show up, but it's not his story. So the big question is this: now that the Wick universe is expanding, can Ana de Armas help lead it into the future? Let's talk about it. It's really crazy to think about how far the Wick universe has come. It started off as this really low budget, kind of unknown film, and it expanded into this global phenomenon with 4 movies focused on John Wick. We have the spin-off show in the Continental over at Peacock, and now we have Ballerina. Not to mention, they just revealed that John Wick 5 is happening somehow. And the franchise just isn't even about Wick anymore at this point. It's about the world that they're trying to build and whether new characters just like Eve can keep it compelling and wanting us to come back for more. Now let's go and talk about Ana de Armas' career shift from going from her humble beginnings to starring in a John Wick universe movie. Now the oldest movie of hers that I've seen is called Knock Knock, which is one of her first roles, I believe, but ironically, that movie stars Keanu Reeves. So they were working together way back then, and now they're working in a franchise together that's basically running the world of action movies. And really ever since Knock Knock, her career has just snowballed into what it is today. She was in a Marilyn Monroe biopic, she was in Blade Runner, Knives Out, a James Bond movie. She's been in everything, and now she's leading the charge in the John Wick universe. And honestly, after seeing Ballerina, Eve just embodies what the franchise is all about. Loss, vengeance, and poetic brutality, the intensity, all that stuff. And I wouldn't mind seeing her be the face of the franchise moving forward, even without Keanu Reeves. And as far as Ballerina goes, that movie rocks. I loved so much of that movie. So here are a quick few thoughts that I had about the movie that gives me reason to believe that she should lead the franchise going forward. The movie just has some really insane set pieces like the flamethrower battle, the grenades that are falling down like confetti, and even a fight with ice skates. And the fight choreography is peak Wick. It's precise, it's creative, it's brutal, it's everything that you wanted. And the world building just feels rich and lived in. It expands on the universe without over-explaining things, just like the other movies in the franchise do. And John Wick does show up, but he doesn't overshadow Eve. His presence feels earned, it feels natural, but it's not just a cheap cameo grab that I was really worried that it was gonna be. Now, as far as what didn't work for the movie, I felt like it was a little bit too long, and the non-stop action eventually diluted itself, especially near the end, because it's non-stop from basically the halfway mark to the end. So even though it was amazing to see all these crazy action scenes, it did start to run a little bit dry. And there's so much momentum in this movie, it moves very fast that the scenes kind of transition very abruptly, and it's not that natural progression of like, okay, now we're going here, and it feels like a very smooth transition. Didn't really feel like that because of how fast paced it got. It's not perfect, but it's Wick through and through, and Eve absolutely holds her own throughout the entire movie. So in short, after seeing Ballerina, Ana de Armas absolutely kills the role. I loved her as Eve, and I feel like she brought a lot of context into this universe because we get to see her go from a child to the assassin that she becomes. So it kind of reframes everything that we know, because in the John Wick movies, we're just kind of thrust in there. There's a lot of mystery surrounding the world that they're in and what John Wick is and who he is to everybody else. So we're just kind of thrust in there that way. But now we get to see from start to kind of the finish what the life of someone in this world actually entails. And it's really rewarding to see. And if there is more that they want to do with Eve, with Ana de Armas, I am totally game. So the real question is, can she carry the Wickverse on her own? Now, Keanu's still around. He's still going to be around because of John Wick 5, and there's going to be more of him. We don't know exactly how much more, but there is going to be more. So it's not like she's going to take over from this point on and we'll never see him again. There's a world where they can run right next to each other to expand the world even more. I'm not talking about just replacing John Wick, I'm talking about evolving the franchise, kind of just like how Star Wars has been doing, where there is the core episodes where there's this main storyline, but there are other stories in that universe to tell that doesn't take away from how good, or how bad, however you feel about it, the actual mainline series is. The John Wick universe is just trying to do the same, and Eve could be the first successful expansion of that. So Ana de Armas delivered. Ballerina proves that the universe of John Wick can move on even without John Wick, as long as it stays focused on character, the choreography, and the world building. But what do y'all think? What do you think of Ballerina? Do you think that this franchise can move forward, or do you even want to see it move forward with other characters? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.